Hello and welcome to another episode of Jacob's House of Rock. And in this episode, I'll be doing a very different episode and one in which I'll probably be doing very similar episodes coming up in the future. So I've been thinking about doing some episodes where it's just me sort of vlogging my thoughts on the music industry and music as a whole and, stuff like that, more sort of philosophical, opinionated stuff. And this episode, I'm going to be tackling a little topic, which is calling musicians artists, and why I no longer do it, and I cringe a little bit inside whenever I hear it. Now, for looking at this, just hearing that on its own, you may think that I find that music is not art, which is completely not true. The reason is actually basically because pop music stole that term and they tainted it forever, at least for me. Because have you ever noticed, if you're, listening to the radio, voluntary or involuntary, for me it's usually involuntary, and, they have their crappy pop songs playing, the stuff that, makes you feel dumber the more you're listening to it, which is genuinely how I feel listening to it these days. But, you go on those stations and, they have in between the songs, talking about the songs, and notice how they never, ever call any of the people who I don't even know how to say it without sounding right. Any of the singers or the producers or whoever manufactures that excuse for music that they have on there. But have you ever noticed how they would never ever call any of them musicians? And there's a very, very simple reason for that. Because they're not. Now, do note that they always, pretty much always, call them artists. Which really pisses me off, because we've come to a time where it's more acceptable to call bullshit art than it is to call it music. So we're at an age where it's harder to be a musician than it is to be an artist, which just baffles me. But I mean, I'm not saying this in a way to put down music. I'm just disgraced at the state of art at the moment, because I went to art school for a long time and I really didn't like it for a number of reasons, and it's stuff like this which is part of that reason. But to this day now, I always cringe a little bit inside when I hear somebody called an artist, even if they are genuinely, an artist. It just feels like it feels more respectful now to call them a musician, because if they warrant the title artist, I feel they warrant the title musician if they're making music, even if it's a singer. Absolutely. And just another little thing that pop music has ruined in music. So, yeah, that's all for this video. I will be doing another video about pop music in general. I'm still getting my head around what I'm gonna say. I've got lots of notes written for that one, but I don't really feel like sort of doing a video reading them out, so I'll have to really think about what I want to say first before doing that video. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Do be sure in the comments below to let me know what you think and your opinions about this. Feel free to rant, start a flame war, whatever you guys want. That's what the comment section are for. I want to hear from you guys, and I really believe that if we all love music, then we should not let what's happening on the radio just be happening. Like, I know there is generally good music happening and all that stuff, but it's just sad. Like, what triggered this for me today was I was just in the shops, and you hear some of this music playing, and like I don't even know what it was, but you know how like you had the songs from the 60s that were like back in the summer of '69, and then those songs, like back in those years, they had their classic music that you could actually say the year and like make it like feel nostalgic. And I heard some song that was referencing like 2002 playing in one of these songs on the radio. It's like, oh, back in 2000 too, and I'm just like, the song was, the most cringiest pop junk, and like thinking back, like that probably would have been a nostalgic year for me, but hearing it in a song that's so cringy makes me just feel sad for anybody who, grew up in these decades and then like 50 years from now is listening back to these songs, trying to feel all nostalgic, but it just being so bad. Just it totally is off-putting, and I feel really sad for, this whole generations now, for the last like 10 years at the very least, there's been pretty like sparsity of anything even listenable on the radio, on mainstream radio, that's considered the music of the time. So it's concerning. That's all what I'll leave it at. Anyway, guys, peace out and keep on rocking and keep music alive. And we need to get artists off the radio and bring back musicians, if you ask me. So, ciao.